Did you register Demi for the recreation this January? No.
No. Mm. Hello.
Hello.
Let me put a pause to this my music because it was just giving me life while I was trying to set up. Good afternoon, Tutu. So
Good
good to
afternoon.
Did
see
you
you.
register Demi for the recreation?
Good to see you. Good to see you. How are
Good to
you
see you too.
doing?
I'm doing amazing. You?
I'm blessed. I'm good. I'm blessed.
I'm
Thank
meeting
you.
you for the first time, right? We know of each other, but we've never met.
Well, that's part of why we're collaborating, so we can meet apart from just from afar. Let's go
I
make
know.
the bubble very smaller so we can meet one another again. It's really
I
good to
know.
see you.
It's
And
nice to see
thank
you
you
too.
so much for accepting to come and speak to us today.
It's my
It
pleasure.
was just something that God had laid on my heart about maybe towards the ending of last year. So I just
Okay.
wrote your name down on part of my 2026 to reach out, contacts to reach out. And so just brainstorming what January will look like. I'm like, okay, maybe Tutu can just come and help talk. Let's see
I'm
if your
happy. I'm
calendar,
happy.
if your
Yeah, I'm
calendar
happy.
will permit you. So thank you so much for taking that on you. I'm really grateful. I'm really
Thanks for
grateful.
inviting me.
I've
Thank
sent
you.
a reminder to the WhatsApp group. I know a lot of people are excited and people will be joining in. They will just be trickling in
Okay.
one by one.
Yeah.
While we are waiting for them to come in, we'll just do some icebreaker. And that's why I want to talk to start by 3:30 based on the agenda. By then we'll have
Sure.
most people in already.
Sure.
We'll have most people in already. And just to give you some context, our session is usually it's like we flow, we just we rapport, even though we are striking the iron on the head and just putting out solid nuggets out for people. But it's usually
Yeah.
just as I am.
I like it.
I don't like to put too
I
much
like it.
I don't like to put too much stress on ourselves again. So it's just
Yeah.
as we are. So it's going to be very fluid, very conversational, and whatever how flow you want to go with your session, please just take the lead. But yes.
I came unprepared, trust me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna start right now because it's 3:05. I like to just respect everybody's time, but while people are trickling in, I want those who are here and I can see Gania and I can see Buki. Tutu, of course, is here. Most times, like you might notice, Gania was doing laundry, and so she's not coming on video. She's not coming on video because of that. So most parents are usually multitasking, as you know, what have to do with female multitask a lot. So
I know. I know.
That
okay,
I'm in a meeting. Thank you.
okay, yeah, you can see. So we are multitasking. Gania, do you want to mute yourself since you're not talking? But yes, since we are recording live as well, I would just like to do a quick introduction of the session, what we do, and just share my screen and just show what the agenda will look like so that everybody have an idea what to expect.
Okay.
So, just to start off, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. We're depending on where you're joining us from. Welcome to Chronicles of an Autism Mom Foundation. And this is our first Together We Can session in 2026. God is really amazing that He has kept us all through 2025. And here we are today in 2026. I remember the last thing we did was just to reflect and just give God thanks through our comparison the last Sunday of 2025. But yes, we didn't know that we're going to be able. We are all standing. So I'm really grateful to be here. Thank you for being here. And for those who are going to be streaming on watching later, I hope you are well. I hope your family is doing amazing. I'm thankful to God that your family crossed over. So we are all crossed into 2026. And 2026 will be a wonderful year for us all in Jesus' name. I don't know about you, but for myself and for Chronicles of an Autism Mom Foundation, the theme God gave me this year was faith brings joy. I don't know. It was in November that I heard that word, like it was glaring. And when I heard that word, it was from a place where I wasn't certain on what I was doing. I was conflicted about some certain situation. I was actually stressing. And then God gave me that word, faith brings joy. And I was like, oh, probably that is the word I'm going to run with in 2026. And it is what we're going to run with in 2026. So, yes, so that is our word for the year. And welcome to Chronicles of an Autism Foundation our Together We Can virtual meet and greet. For those who don't know, our agenda is going to be very, very simple. So we're going to do our check-in, and I'm going to introduce our check-in involves a short icebreaker. Then I'm going to introduce our guest speaker who's going to share with us briefly. Then we'll go to our breakout room where, as parents, we connect on one-on-one basis. And then you can share your experience with other parents. It just makes it easier for us to know that we are one global village. Your experience might be a learning point from somebody else. So please don't be shy. Feel free to share with somebody in your breakout room. Then we'll take our feedback poll, then closing remarks for today. And so without further ado, quick introduction about who Chronicles of an Autism Mom is, what we do, and our vision. So at Chronicles of an Autism Mom Foundation, this vision birthed out of a place of me just sharing my experience, having parenting a child on the autism spectrum. So I am not a professional, but I'm just a mom walking this journey for the past 9 years. And I share my experience with so many people because I believe there is no point hiding the knowledge we have, we can share. And our ultimate goal at Chronicles of an Autism and Foundation is to make sure that every child and every family that connects with us thrive. And that means moving from a place of worry to a place where you can comfortably or somewhat just navigate life with your child without stressing too much. I know we are still walking this journey. I am still walking this journey, but that is my ultimate goal. Based on our shared experiences, based on our shared knowledge, we can help one another and make the journey easier. And that's the point of us coming together as a global family. Without that, I'm being very cognizant of our time. That is Chronicles of an Autism Mom Foundation. And somebody will say, Abiola, can I even know you? This is my first time meeting you or even being in your space. For those who don't know me, I am Dami's mom. I have 2 kids. Apart from that, during my day, I am a project manager. I work in the public sector as a project coordinator. What else do I do? I like supporting parents. So you see me on one-on-one calls with parents, navigating our journey. Apart from that, I'm a lover of children. You'll see me playing with kids, my nephew, my nieces, and the over 230 Omo Jesus, as I call my babies in Compres. I'm praying for every child that is connected with us. What else do I like to do? Now I like to read. I'm reading a lot and I'm actually just enjoying it. So that's a little bit about myself. And I'm also married to my wonderful spouse that supports me in everything that I do. So that is Abiola for you. That is what I do. But yes, it's indeed a privilege to have you here this afternoon. And before we go ahead, for those who are online already, unfortunately, I can't see everybody. But if you can let me know where you're connecting from, that would be amazing. If you can let me know where you're connecting from, that would be really good. So can we just, share? I'm just going to try and see if I can navigate to the chat room and see. Can you just let me know where you're connecting with us from today? No way. Are you serious? It's indeed a very small village. Tutu, I'm surprised you're in Milton because I'm in Milton as well.
Oh no, I didn't know you were in Milton.
That's why I'm saying that. Oh, really? Really, really, really a very, very small village we are in. I'm in
I'm in Milton.
Milton.
Okay.
I'm in Milton. Okay, we have Ganiat in Milton as well. And we have Tolu in Kitchener. Hi, Tolu. Hi, it's Kitchener. Buki at Waterloo. Yemi at Ottawa. How is Ottawa? How is everyone doing? Good, 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 good to have you join us this afternoon. Good to have you join us. And while we're waiting for other people to trickle in, can you just feel free to just share what was one big win for you this last year that did not get enough credit? Like, what is that big win? And I can just start off for me. Okay, no, I'm going to say two, one for Damie and one for myself. I think for myself, I intended to do a career growth, continuous learning, and I wanted to learn something new, get a new certification. Of course, I didn't know it was going to be that rigorous because people who know me knows I would tell them I just like to count money. don't put me through the stress of reading. But I said I was going to do something career-wise. And so I was taking a certification, that's a cognitive project management in AI certification. And I paid for the course and it was expensive, but the numbers of hours I have to spend, I was like, oh no, who's saying to me, why did I put myself into this trouble? But guess what? December 30th, I went for the certification exam and I passed. So that is something I am super, super proud that I was able to add on, albeit how busy my schedule was. But yes, I was able to do that. And one credit for Damie that's for this past year that deserved more credit than it got was the fact that Damie was actually doing great. The selected grade for him, it was actually doing very well in math, English, science. And I'm just looking back like, okay, I'm not sure I celebrated Demi enough because yes, it took us a lot and lots and lots of learning, but he was actually able to do it. So I think that deserved more credit. And even while I'm stressing that he has a test on Monday, and I'm like, okay, are we prepared enough? But yeah, looking back, I think I should just relax and just do our best. Like Demi say, I'm doing my very best. So let me just do our very best and just leave the rest to God. So yes, anybody care to share with me? What is that one win from last year that deserves more credit? Okay, Tutu said personal growth. Yes, okay, that's fantastic. You grew a lot last year. Anybody else want to share? Tosin, congratulations. Thank you.
Do
Anybody?
we share in the chat or we're free to talk about it?
You can free to talk about it. You know how our session goes. It's a very fluid session. So please feel
Okay.
free to mute yourself if you want to share as well.
Thank you, Abiola. So for me personally, my win from last year, why am I saying yesterday, is that I was able to register my company. There's been something that God has placed on my heart for the
Oh,
longest time that I didn't think that I had the capacity to do, but I just got to a place last year where I'm like, you know what, Tolu, it's either you do this or you do this. And the right step in the right direction was for me to register my company. So that was done. And every other thing is beginning to take shape by God's grace. Now, on Jason's side, Jason went from attending school every other day. He's in grade 1 right now. So in SK, he was attending school every other day. So he went from that to this year or last year where he started as attending school every single day and his hours were extended. So the year before, during his SK years, he was going from 9:15 to 1:15. But last year, school agreed. Not even me. I didn't push. I didn't think we were ready yet, but God used the school on my behalf. They were like, "No, Jason is ready. He can do it." So he went from 9:15 to 1:15 to 9:15 to 2:05 every single day, and he rocked it. And then after that phase, they allowed him to spend one day of the week, which is a Wednesday, or full day at school. So December last year was that month where he got to spend one full day at school, and Jason really really did super well. And I feel like I didn't laud him enough, like you said, maybe because I wasn't mentally prepared for it and it was just dumped on my lap and we had to do it. But I just want to say, I just want to give God the glory for that, and just say, go, Jason!
yay! Yay! And congratulations on your business, registering your business. At least that's the first step, and you did it. You did it. That's super amazing, Tolu. That's super amazing. Anybody else want to share? Tosin, where is SK? Or what did you say?
I might go for it because I think it might inspire other people.
Okay, please go
So
ahead.
I figure out from Tolu and you that your kids are quite younger than mine. So I think that because of my son's age, his name is Zion,
Mm.
because he's older. And I remember when he was younger, it was more, my concern was seeing other people who had older kids on the spectrum and seeing what the future could look like for us. So for us, the big win was he was meant to graduate high school last year, but he had to do one extra semester. So, and then he had 4 credits to go. So he said to me, because his friends had left school in June, he felt left out. And he was like, okay, I'm going to register myself in summer school and get 2 credits there. And then I'm going to make sure I pass my G1. So he did that registration all by himself. Previously, I would be pushing for it.
Wow.
But he did that all by himself, registered by himself, sat for the class online. He was going every day. And then he also did his G1 and he passed it. So
Wow.
those are his wins. And
That's
then,
so cool.
and then for me, it's more personal growth because the journey of autism parenting is much more a personal journey than a parenting journey. So yeah, that's me.
That's really good, and congratulations. Well, thank God that I get to know you now. I can disturb you and piggyback on your experiences, considering Zion is even leaving high school. I'm beginning to prepare for my son's going to high school. I like to do forecast way ahead of time. Demi is in grade 6 and going to grade 7, so I'm beginning to put my head in that space. But thank you so much for sharing. And congratulations on your personal growth. I'm sure you're doing so many things. You're doing so many things. Anybody else want to share? I'm trying to see if I can see the chat. I don't want to miss anybody's hands on. Let me see.
Can I go ahead?
Yes, sorry, I can't see. I need to stop sharing. Maybe I should stop sharing for a bit. Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, so let
Oh,
me start with Imran.
I can see you.
So for Imran, that's my son. He's 10. I think the biggest win for us in 2025 was him being able to help with like house chores. So for example, every day now, if I tell Imran to empty the dishwasher, it brings out everything, he arranges it. Okay, Imran, go arrange the cutleries. He knows where to put the spoons, the pot. He's gonna get the blender, put it where it should be, including the cover. He's very, very he's been doing that consistently. Even this morning, he still did. So that's a very big win. And another thing is cleaning up after eating. So these days, he can get the brush, get the packer, sweep, clean up his mess. So that's another good thing for us. And for me, I think my biggest win is career growth. And the reason why it's a big win for me is because it's giving me more time for the family. So I became the pharmacy manager where I work. So with that, I don't work a lot of evenings, which gives me more family time and even the weekends. So I don't get to work a lot of weekends anymore. So the fact that I can get more family time, that's a very big win for me.
That's good. That's good. That's good. And congratulations being a pharmacy manager. I know it's a whole lot of work in this space, but yeah, you're doing fantastic, Aniyat. Anybody else want to share? So in case you just joined, we're asking ourselves, what is one win from the past year that deserves more credit than it got? So it could be for you or your child. So anybody feel free to share. We still have some more time. Anybody else wants to go? We have to celebrate. I can't remember who was sharing, and something just jumped on my mind, memory that I forgot. Last year was the year where Damie, after doing therapy, intensive therapy for 5 consistent years, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we stopped last year. We stopped October last year. And it was as if I totally forgot how life was before therapy, what to do with ourselves, how do we adjust, will he adjust, will he even be able to go through school full time? And the dude was having the best of his life. I'm even enjoying it more. Like the coordination used to be a whole lot with different therapies, speech therapy. But yes, yeah, that's one thing that deserves more credit than and that I did not give. So anybody else have something that deserves more credit, a win that you would like to share? Anybody? Feel free to celebrate yourself. You don't have to keep quiet. Feel free to celebrate yourself. Anybody wants to go? Do I see somebody's hands up? Are you guys keeping quiet on me? Okay, I can see Debola's
Hello.
mic is open and Oyinda, you go next. So Debola, go first, then Oyinda will go after you.
No, I just joined, so I don't know what is going on. I'm so sorry. I just mute myself. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. Oyinda, do you want to go? Then I'll tell Debola what we're doing, what we're talking about.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Um, for me, I think my biggest win is having my son to be more stable. The last time we traveled to London, he was very cranky, behavior, crying throughout, not being able to control him. But this time around, he's more stable and he's more stable in terms of his behavior and in terms of controlling him. So that's a big win. We're still working on him, and I know by the special grace of God, he will get more and more better.
That's good. Anything for yourself? You want us to clap for you?
Okay, so for me is well, last year was a big year. Big year, a lot of positive and negative, but we'll put the positive first. So for me is venturing into the disability support space
Okay.
because I ventured into it because I wanted to learn more. I was getting frustrated by the whole situation. So I went into it to learn more, to be able to help my son a lot. And I'm almost done with the training and I'll start working in that field. And it has given me a lot of reason to be thankful rather than complaining. At least I see some other children or other people who are able. I wouldn't say disabled because there's always ability in any disability. But then I see that and I'm able to thank God that I'm in a better position to help my child.
Please let me clap for you, Ida. You shouldn't keep quiet on that.
Yes.
You shouldn't keep quiet on that. I don't like booking, but
Yeah.
if you're able to read, please let me celebrate you. Let me celebrate you. Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
I think we had somebody unmute themselves. Somebody was going to go now before I
I
interrupted.
think
Who
that
was
was
that?
me, Faye.
Oh, Faye, yes. Thank you, Faye. Go ahead.
Yes. So for me, I would say I don't have a child on the spectrum or anything, but
Okay.
I run a tutoring center and I have my my wonderful kids, and some of them are on the spectrum, some of them are not. And I want to say one of my biggest wins is I'm not a professional, but the fact that I have taken my time to understand these kids.
Mm,
And some parents are like, I don't know what you do with them or, how you're able to engage them because we don't get this engagement in school, and all that. And for me, is even searching within myself and asking myself, am I meant to be doing more?
mm.
Right? Am I meant to be giving more? So I just want to congratulate myself for the fact that it's a space that a lot of most people come into this space because they have kids,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then that's where they find their pathway. But for me, I don't have kids. I have friends that they have kids, and maybe this is where the empathy side comes in. But I'm just so proud of myself, the fact that I'm able to just learn to listen to them and to connect with them. So, yeah,
I
that's
love
a
you,
win for
Faye.
me.
I love allies. I just love you. You really do not need to be here. You really do not need to learn more, but you are learning, and that is just wonderful. That is just wonderful. I love when I see people that just want to curious to learn more and just support people around you, despite the fact that it doesn't relate to you. That's fantastic, Faye. Let me clap for you again. Let me clap for you again. We have an opportunity to listen to one more person, somebody who is willing to share one win for you this past year or for your child. So anybody who wants to share? We're more than being a parent, you are yourself. So celebrate yourself, if nothing else. Anybody else wants to share before we move in? No? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That will give us enough time to have some chat in the breakout room when we go to the breakout room. But without further ado, I just want us to just know why we are here this afternoon. For those who just joined, like I was saying while I was doing the intro, in previous years, we've had January, we usually spent January doing goal setting sessions for ourselves and for our children. I know I have led not one, not twice, two goal setting sessions, but I was, God was just telling me in a place of prayer that for parents, this is usually basically for parents, and of course, I know we talk about our children. It gets to a point that you can set goals for your children, but if you personally, you're not in the right mental space, you cannot move. Like you literally cannot move. And I'm just reflecting back to Come Praise last year when we were starting the new school session. It was because I was mentally, spiritually prepared to go into 2025, the school year. That was why even when Demi stopped therapy, I was not freaking out. Somehow, I just had this grounding and this peace within me that Abiola, you'll be fine. And literally, we were fine. Like the guy is doing very well. And so that's the same thought that brought us to this, January. And I was like, okay, we're going to talk about something grounding. How can we thrive? Because I believe that if we hear from people who've gone ahead of us, that really just informs us to know how to position ourselves, the posture we should take. And if there are people whose children are thriving, then we can definitely, I like to borrow from people's experience. I don't shy away. I can meet you from today, and the first thing I will ask is, please, based on your past experience, how can you just share something with me so that I can just put that in my toolkit? And that is part of the reason why, God had lead Miss Tutu. I stumbled on her page. Most of the people that I know is just mainly on social media. And I've been following you quietly. I've been seeing the things you've been sharing. It has been resonating with me. I'm like, okay, that is the space. That is where I want to put my head into. I want to be able to build sustainable future for my son. And because I myself, I'm going to enjoy my life. I'm going to I'm going to live a very, very long life, healthy one till the day I die. I will not be sick. And that's the same lens that I just used to look at every parent in our community. My desire is for everybody to thrive, not just myself and my child. And so today we have the privilege of having Miss Tutu join us this afternoon. Surprisingly, she's in Milton, so I have one more person I can go and visit now that I know. So my circle is expanding, and I'm super, super excited. So we have Miss Tutu here this afternoon. She's an independent living plan strategist. She's also a system consultant and the founder of Being the System. She's a parent of an autistic young adult. Her work is shaped by lived experience, navigating broken system, major life transition, and long-term planning. That I am super excited. I want to learn more about that. Apart from that, Miss Tutu helps autism family design independent living plan for their children that support daily stability today and create sustainable future beyond the parent. Now, she also worked with organizations to build parent-centered system that truly support autistic individuals and into adulthood. I am super excited to have her here today. And for the next 30 minutes, she'll be sharing with us. Apart from that, I know we've received some questions, but if you have any more questions based on how she's sharing or whatever she's sharing, and you want to ask a further question, please feel free to type that in the chat, and then we'll pick that at the end of the session, and she would answer that for us. So please, without further ado, if you can unmute yourself, please help me to give Miss Tutu a warm round of applause and welcome her to COAAM community. Yay!
I'm happy to be here, and
Thank you.
thank you so much for inviting me. When I saw your email, I'm like, oh yes, I'm gonna be on there. So I'm excited. And like I said, I did not read a script, and I'm not prepared, but I'm always prepared. So I will briefly, you have introduced me already. So if anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask me. And I believe also that, like I said, it's more about people seeing other children thrive. And while our experiences are not the same, they will not be. It's just nice to actually see someone and just be like, oh, okay, if that's possible for that person, it could be possible for me too. Right? So yeah, and so independent living plans is what I do. I help parents with that. I remember there was I think about 4 years ago, I had a parent, she was a customer at the time I owned a restaurant, and she walked in and I saw her with her son, and I looked at him, and I don't know, something about me. I'm just very excited when I see children on the spectrum and I can spot them because I have one. So I saw him and I looked at the mom and like, is he autistic? And she looked at me like it was kind of, you know how we are when we are not on a growth journey. We're like this. And she was like, oh, what do you mean? I'm like, calm down. I have a child like him. She was like, oh, okay. And then I'm like, okay, I'm excited to know what are his strengths, what are his weaknesses. And she was like, okay, I don't see many people fired up like this. And I'm like, oh, I can see he's high functioning. Is he doing this? Is he doing that? And she's like, no, I don't think. I'm like, go and try it and come back and tell me next week. And she tried it and she was like, oh, it worked. I'm like, yeah, we gotta, so it's more about helping each other because it's not a journey for the faint, it's a faint-hearted people. And it would push you, it would stretch you, it would challenge you. And you just have to keep on being resilient and know why you're doing it. And it's a thankless journey where you just have to show unconditional love to your child. And like I said, it would also challenge everything you think you know about parenting because we all come with different ideas of how we believe our children should be. And I see the names here and I see the majority of us have Nigerian backgrounds. Our parents were not easy. You had to either become a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer. Otherwise, you're failing in life. So, and when you have a child with a disability and you don't even know what direction they're going, that challenges you. You're like, oh, so you're not going to be a doctor, or you're not going to do it the way I have thought my child would be. So you have to start challenging your own belief systems and be like, okay, what part of me needs to come to terms with this? And I always say it's not just the journey about parenting, it's going to challenge you and the way you think and what you should hold on to, what you should let go of. And it will rip you open. You would cry, you would you would get yourself up, you encourage yourself, and then you realize that it's as challenging as it is, it's very beautiful. So that was a lot. Please feel free to unmute yourself and ask me questions. And
No,
come on, camera.
that was just an icebreaker, a teaser, because I was taking notes already.
Okay. Yeah. So I know a few people have said stuff, and Faye has her hand up. Hey, Faye, you're muted.
Okay, yes. So I have a question. When you were introduced as someone that helped prepare, if I understand, the future of the child, right? So can you elaborate more on what that covers or what that entails? Because, just like I said before, I don't have kids, but I have a lot of friends, I have people around me at my learning center. I have parents with kids. It's like, what does the future look like when they start getting older? Because when they're younger, it's easy to manage, but they start in their 20s. What does that look like? So I just want you to elaborate on that.
That's a layered question. I say that, and I'm gonna answer it without as best as I can. So one thing I know for a fact is independent living for children with autism is going to look different for everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have an idea that people are supposed to transition from elementary school to high school to college, and then when they're 18, that's they're out of the house and like just and then you're out there and then doing life on your own. But it's not going to look like that for us. For us, it's going to be a lot different. And I believe that for each family, the child and the reality of your family is going to determine what independent living looks like for you. And you have to come to terms with that because there are different strengths and weaknesses. Some children depending on where they are on the spectrum, might be able to, some are high functional, some are not. So it's coming to terms with the truth of that. What does that look like? But is it possible for your child to depend on you forever? No. So one way or the other, we're going to have to come to design a plan that works for us. So I think answering your question in a nutshell is it's going to look different for everyone. And the dynamics of your family, the strengths of your child, and the future you envision is going to determine what that plan looks like for you. And it could be maybe they're able to live independently. It could be maybe a certain section of your house is what's the word? Remodeled, yeah, to be accessible for them, depending on the child's strengths. For people that are low functional, it could be group homes are the worst. So let's not even like that's kind of like the last resort for people. But it could be whatever, like I said, it's individual. It's individual to the child, it's individual to the strengths, it's individual to the parent, the vision that they have, financial capacity also. So it's not one size fits all. Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Thank you. But another thing I want to mention also is independent living doesn't start when they become adults. It starts now. Like the ages of the kids that you guys have now is where you begin. Like somebody shared a win about the child being able to offload the dishwasher. So those are life skills that one way or the other, if you can incorporate it into their everyday life, it would actually do a lot because the vision is that, or the hope is that to an extent, they can do as much as they can for themselves. So thank you for asking. I see Oyinda's hand up. Oyinda, yeah. You're still muted.
Okay.
Yes, now you're muted.
Thank you very much. So my question is, how do you, well, in the process of learning, I tend to learn that you have to instill a lot of life skills, and these life skills might be based on the individual capacity or abilities, right?
Yeah.
Now I just tend to like watch my child and I'm a bit confused. How do I identify what he really likes? Like in terms of when you see special kids like us, there is area of like which they are very good at, but I
Mhm.
find it difficult. I find it difficult figuring that out in my child, and I'm like wondering how do I figure out what he's good at so that I can just focus on that and try to, you know, develop? And also, how did you manage the changes that occurs while the child is growing as well?
Okay, I hear two things. Figuring out the strengths.
Yes.
Okay, and the second?
How do you manage the changes that occurs? Because they're just like any other person that's at every stage in life, there are things that will change, right? Whether
Mhm.
you have a routine that you've started with, tomorrow another behavior starts and you have to realign into those things that
Mhm.
is
Mhm.
actually happening. How do you manage it?
Mhm.
How do you manage the stress as well?
Mm. Okay. Okay, so there's so
Sorry,
I'm
I
gonna
have a lot of
answer.
questions, but let me just let me just
I
try
see you
this
have
for
lots of
now.
questions. I'll take the first one.
All
Figuring
right.
out the strengths. I say to people that you know how children on the spectrum don't filter. Like they have no BS threshold. So they'll show you exactly who they are. Now we can choose not to see it, but they always show you. They show you what the strengths are. And if we're attentive enough, you can start to see certain areas. Whether you accept what they show you is it's a different ballgame. So I'll give you an example in answering your question. I have a friend. couple, medical doctor, and another, the husband is a project manager. And he said to me, he said, Tutu, this boy just likes to climb stuff. He climbs stuff and then just watches TV all day. Like, I can't get him to sit in a classroom or write and do all that stuff that he expects. I put expect in air quotes. And I'm like, okay, he likes to climb stuff. He's like, yeah, he climbs everything. I'm like, okay, maybe your child wants to be an American Ninja warrior. Have you taken him into an indoor gym or wall climbing space and figure out if he can do stuff that other kids cannot do? It was like, no. I'm like, why not? Like, he's showing you what he likes. So why you not, he's like, but I need him to write, to be able to read. I'm like, okay, what you want and what your child is able to do are two different things. So, and then music. He listens to music and then he gets it. And then he goes. So after we spoke, he enrolled the child into a music school. And then he's like, do you know, since then, the teacher was like, I've never met a child like this, because he hears the tune and then he goes and he plays it. And I remember my son was like that. So when it comes to strength identification, what they show you is who they are. And then you can build on that. If they're visual learners, they like colors and stuff like that, they might be great at sorting out laundry for you, color by color. They might be great at putting away dishes for you if you make it fun. There's so many things that one strength, when you observe it, can actually do for you. So it's about being attentive and going, besides the basic things you want to teach them, they would mostly show you because they're not filtering. We're the ones who filter. We, the neurotypicals, are the ones that, we smile at you and you don't know if we hate you and stuff like that. So that's the first question. The second one is managing changes. So I'm thinking maybe routine changes or lifestyle changes and all of that. Okay, so in my experience, I'm a single parent. So I know majority of people have partners who support them through this, but throughout my parenting journey, I have lived across 3 continents with my son, and there were major changes. There are times when life pushes you to change. That time you're not planning, you're in survival, and then you just have to do it and then adjust, because they will always struggle with that. And this is life. There's nothing I can do about this. We're gonna have to adjust. And there is also, okay, where everything's chummy right now and it's a nice to have, and then it's, oh, maybe the school bus is changing from a certain time to a certain time. So I think it's also making them get used to routine changes. It's disruptive, yes, but that's life. And I have another example, because I've been speaking to parents for like over 10 years. I've just always been the go-to person. Maybe because I'm the lab rat for majority of people. All right. So it's like, oh, you have the older kid, you have more experience. So my friend calls me one day and she goes, oh, my son sits just behind the driver and he's so used to sitting there. And then she got on the bus that day and it was different because another child was sitting there. And she was pissed off on his behalf. The child did not have a meltdown. She had a meltdown on behalf of the child. And I'm like, okay, you see how entitled you are, because that's an entitlement right there. It's a nice to have for your son to have a spot, but you can't always expect that to happen. And then if you're going in and giving the driver shit for, pardon my French, I'm not very proper. So if you go in and you're like, hey, why did you let that happen? That's not you growing. That's not you being nice. That's you being freaking entitled. And if the routine changes, you might have to speak to your child if they understand you, depending on the child's strength. Like, hey, sometimes it might be nice to sit here, and share with another person and manage the expectation of what real life is, because they're out there fixing the world and we are always trying to help them, always trying to advocate, always trying to protect them. We can't protect them forever. sometimes you just throw them out there and be like, okay, how do you adjust to this? So it's not a question that fits everyone because your child's going to be different from mine. But sometimes where some changes you must have, there's nothing you can do about it. Like when I was moving countries, like I'm in survival, I'm just moving around. And then we settled here 12 years ago. And but if you have to change stuff, you have to change stuff. The child's gonna have to adjust. And you figure out a way from all the skills that we're all learning now at the foundational level to manage our kids in order to, make that successful. So it's not, you can't always manage them 100%, but you manage as much as you can. And I hope that answers your question. It's not very clear cut, but I hope I helped.
Yeah, I think it answers my question though. Yeah. Because
I'm
at
glad you
times
did.
I'm just like we're in situations and I throw him into it. And at times I beat myself up that maybe I'm being too hard on the child, but then I just make him to realize that this is how the world runs, and I just want to have a second opinion about it. That if am I being too harsh on this child, or it's just me thinking that way, right? But then, yeah, thank you so much for the verification. And anyways, Mm,
You're welcome. Thank you for asking.
thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else have a question? We have parents to some teenagers. My son will be a teenager very soon. And I'm like, okay. How do I prepare for this phase, especially going to high school? And the question is, okay, what is he going to do? I know his strengths, like you said, listen to their strengths. What they are telling you is what they are interested in, not what you want to do. So, what you want them to do. So, I'm beginning to recalibrate myself. I'm like, okay, this is where I see Dami's strengths, and this is what he says he wants to do. He jokingly says it over and over. Probably he has more interest in this area than anything else. So, I should
Mm-hmm.
channel strength
Mm-hmm.
into that area.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll be looking for courses that will make it more easier for him to do what he says he wants to do in the long term. Okay, fantastic.
And
Good.
sometimes they lose interest. Sometimes
Mhm.
they lose interest fast. We were into animation. At some point, it was all animation. And then we went to an animation school. And then he did that. And it was like, okay, I'm done. And then we did music for a bit. And then he was like learning to play the keyboard. He went there. He was bored. Like he'd go there, listen, and then he'll play and be like, what else? And the teacher was like, okay, I don't know what else to teach you. And it was done. It was like, I'm not going back there. I'm like, okay. And then we did music production, and then he's into beats and making all that, buy all the software, he'll get into it, and now he's done. Now he's into, like, they keep changing. And as he's changing, I'm like, okay, no problem, I'm gonna change with you. That's what you want. But yeah, like you said, it's looking at it and being like, okay, that's what it is, that's what it is.
I hope people are listening and you're not just so fixated on particular something. You have to be very fluid and be able to dance exactly how your child is going. Otherwise, you get yourself frustrated. That is what I am hearing. Like if you have this on like a something
Rigid way of
exactly, if you're rigid
rigid
on a
expectation.
particular
Yeah.
path, your child will be frustrated and you as well, you'll be frustrated. So you don't want that. Okay, thank you. But I think apart from that, I think that's one strategy on how we can support our children to be very fluid, to not be rigid. But I wanted to find out because I know somebody had shared some question regarding sorry, I'm just changing my screen to that now
Right.
on Slido. Uh, okay. Oh, the questions are much. Okay, no, I thought it was just 4 questions. Okay. How do you, as a parent, understand and help your nonverbal child experiencing puberty? What are expectations and reactions? Um, that's one question. I think I'll just share the screen so that you can see and you can,
Sure.
if there are questions you want to merge together, because they're, well, you can start with that. I will just pull that screen. No.
Being nonverbal,
Yes. Exactly.
So, do we have a bit more context? I mean, it's straightforward enough, but I wonder if the parent who put that on there could speak a bit more about that. Because I
Yeah.
know that this topic, I've had it with a few people, and a lot of people have different ideas for when the children are approaching puberty. And like I said, with every answer depends on where the child is on the spectrum.
Mm.
Um, I know that for some people, they actually wanted to medically delay puberty
Yeah.
because they cannot handle periods, for example, and high needs. Like you can't teach them yet how to change their sanitary towels and stuff like that. So some parents wanted to medically delay that until such a time where they could handle it better. So maybe a bit more context would help.
Okay. Well, for the first time I heard that parents were doing that, I had no idea. And I was
Mm.
really,
That's why the community is good because my experience is different from yours, right? And so you'd be surprised as to and then the stem cells also, there's lots of stuff I've heard, but because it's not my experience, you only hear um in gatherings like this where people come together and share their own personal experiences. So even if I don't have an answer, I'm sure somebody here has something to say that would start helping you think along a line that can help you. So
yeah, I think for me, on my own perspective would be before your child gets to puberty, you should start teaching those skills.
but
Many
they're
a times
non-verbal, and then it depends on the child's strength too. Can they learn it or no?
no. Hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Well, like you said, it's really different for everybody.
Yeah.
It's different for everybody. Okay, so that's the question. The second question says, I felt overwhelmed with everything last year and completely shut down. Now I would like to retry. Where do I begin with my child? I'm thinking diet, behavior, routine, or education.
Oh, that's a loaded one.
It
Okay.
is loaded.
So parents feeling overwhelmed is huge. That's the norm. And I believe that for me personally, and I share unfiltered because I know it helps people. I had my worst moment in my life was in 2016 when I slipped into depression. Like I said, I'm a single parent and I had 1.5 years of being totally useless. And I had a child and he has a sister. So I had my rock bottom lows where I'm like, okay, I can't function. So I'm just trying to normalize what your experience is. Like overwhelm is, yeah. And then for me, I then decided what was important for me, what's priority. So I decided I'm gonna have a small circle. I'm gonna choose where my energy goes. I'm gonna decide what direction my life is gonna flow towards. And now I'm one of the most unbothered people you'd find. If I feel like not doing anything, I would not do anything. If that's what helps me center myself, I do it. So I prioritize myself. I'm very selfish like that. And I find that that's one thing that has saved me from
Mm.
a lot of energy drain that I can otherwise utilize to help myself and my children. And so being overwhelmed is great. At least you know what overwhelmed you, right? And then you go back to the drawing board and be like, okay, now I have to do what works and giving yourself permission to do that. Because for us, especially Nigerians, there's always something happening. There's always this family stuff. We know how we are. If you don't have boundaries, it's going to be a lot harder for you to actually cope in our community because the expectations are high. And, so um, radical change for me was I don't care. I do what helps me, what works for me. And so after I got out of that, it was like a total 360 is not a change because you're making a full circle. It was a 180. I'm like, okay, I'm done with all of that. And this is where my energy needs to go. This is what I need to focus on. And my life has been fantastic since then. Even I think because of how I've chosen to live my life, it's just like everything else now aligns to make my life even a lot easier. So I find that previously when I stressed about, oh, what is school going to look like? Oh, we have a lot of anxiety too, right? Like you don't know. Like, and then I find people in places that actually help my kids. And they reach out to me and they're like, oh, we thought you'd benefit from this. I'm like, okay, so how did you think about me? They're like, oh, no, I was just thinking about Zion's mom. And I thought, oh, I'm like, okay. So I find a lot of places that he'll go because I'm so aligned, things are a lot easier. So my parenting became a lot less painful, right? So overwhelm is good. Now you know what overwhelms you. And you're if you're on the growth journey, like majority of us have to be as autism parents, then you decide, okay, this is the direction I want to go, and these are the places I need to put boundaries up. And then try not to do too many things at the same time because you're going to burn out. What's important, what's not important, what stresses you. Give yourself permission to say no. I don't know if that answered your question, but
Yes.
yeah.
But I was taking notes. Okay, I think the next question is the third one. Can you see the screen? I think you should be able to see the question. I've been
It's
on
small.
survival mode for the past
Oh,
couple
for the
of
past
years.
couple of years, been on survival mode for the past couple of years. How can I move from constant reacting to steadier living? Ooh. It's so funny that I actually see myself in all these questions. Goodness. I've been on a wild journey. Survival mode. Okay. I'm not a professional, but if you need to seek professional help, I think you might benefit from speaking to a therapist. I know that our community also, in air quotes, think you're crazy when you start speaking to someone. But if you feel you need to speak to someone, speak to someone. And survival mode is it's and I pause there because a lot of my younger my parenting experience, especially when they were a lot younger, was me being repeatedly in survival mode. And sometimes it's just inevitable, it's just life, right? But if you surround yourself with people who are on a growth journey like you, it makes things a lot easier, not less painful. You'll still go through the pain of not doing things the way you were. But if you need to speak to someone, even for a few sessions, just speak to a therapist and figure out, talk to them about it. But it actually does start with you. The minute you prioritize yourself and you have the audacity to live life on your own terms, things get a lot easier. It did get easier for me. Yeah. And then sometimes we think we need more for our kids. Like, oh, we need to do this, we need to do that. Sometimes you don't need to do more, you need to do less of what works. So if you find that you're having to do too many things at the same time, where it's just energy draining, you maybe recenter yourself and figure out, okay, what can I realistically take on right now? And not feel guilty about it. Because guilt is that's a big one too.
Yeah,
Okay.
that resonates with me. Like what you said, sometimes it's not about doing more. At times it might be doing less and focusing on what is working.
Yes.
What is working. Yeah, that has helped me. That has helped me stay grounded and helped me to be less overwhelmed. Me too, less overwhelmed. I know there's some things that are nice to have, like putting him in different things, but would that stress me? Yes, it will. So is
Yes.
it really,
Yep.
really important? No, I don't think it's really, really important. When I'm able
Mm-hmm.
to, then I'll take it on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like you said,
Yeah.
prioritize yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Prioritize
what you can
yourself.
realistically do, like I have a neighbor, she's a sports mom. Like I can never for the life of me be a sports mom. You see that traveling and driving and doing all of that, it's not me. If I try that with my kids, I'm gonna burn out. And
Mm,
there's no way I can sustain that. Do I want it? I wish I could,
yeah.
right? But I cannot. So I need to respect that. Um, so you need to figure out what your life allows and who you are
Mm,
in order to parent in a way that is less stressful. Because if you want to compare your child to a lot of people out there, oh boy, you're gonna struggle. So just be honest with yourself and like, okay, yeah, I wish I could do more, but this is what I have capacity for. And as the capacity increases, you can add more to it when you've got a grip on things.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you. Let's see the next question. Good evening. My question is, how can we treat bloated stomach? How do
Medical.
you?
That's a
That is
medical
not,
question.
that's a medical question. Let me go to the
Yeah.
next one. My child is approaching grade one, worried at they would not be taught at school. Will I have to homeschool my child?
Not necessarily.
Mhm. But grade one, ever?
Why do you think they will not be part of school?
So what I am saying is, as parents, we have to kind of let go of what the norm should look like
Yes. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
and create your own new normal.
Yep.
Does not mean that you would not advocate for your child in school, does not mean that you will not press for your child to be taught more things in school. But right now, you being worried if your child will be taught at all, I think that is not the right place to be. Rather, what I would suggest you do is immediately school resumes, collaborate with the teacher, find out what they are
Hmm.
doing,
Hmm.
find out if there are areas you can support your child at home. Do that consistently. Also show them your
Hmm.
results and just have that open communication. And with that, you will see your child is learning. Of course, they cannot be
Yes.
rigid, but yes, your child will learn something and move from one grade to the other.
And they will
That's my
continue
thought.
showing you what they want to learn too, because grade one is really young. So it's
Grade
like
one is just
some
playing
of
and
the
coloring.
for now.
Yeah, so you shouldn't be worried at all. You shouldn't be worried at all. Let me go to the next question. It says, my child is 9 and non-verbal and still can't do much academically. She's
Mm,
also addicted to screen and doesn't have much interest after that. How can I help her?
mm. Okay. What do they watch on the screen?
Now, this question was posed anonymous. I don't know if the parent
Yeah.
is here. If you're
Yeah.
here, do you want to put
Yeah.
that in the chat or you want to just unmute yourself? That would help us just tailor this response better to you.
It depends on what they watch on the screens and it's not one size fits all.
Mm.
So why I say that is because when my son was younger, he'd watch a lot of cartoons.
Oh, mostly
Oh, okay.
cartoons,
So I see mostly cartoons. Okay. So I'll
rhymes.
rhymes. Okay. So he'd watch a lot of cartoons and um it was just good. And it was my way of being like, you know what, I need to do a few things, just leave me be, right? So he'd watch, and then there was the one I remember was Ratatouille. So
Mm.
he'd watch Ratatouille and he watched it once. It was a DVD at the time. So I played the DVD and he watched it. I played it twice. And then the third time, I'm like, okay, you're stressing me now. I want to watch Ratatouille. And then I put Ratatouille in. And then from the beginning till the end, he was mimicking, he was nonverbal, he was mimicking and reciting every scene of
Mm.
Ratatouille from the
Wow.
beginning to the end. having watched it twice.
That's a graphic memory there.
Yes, yes. So it might not really be that they're just watching it for the sake of watching it. Sometimes we need to pay attention to how they learn, right? And it's never one size fits all. I keep saying that. But there might be cues that they're giving you. So what do they watch on the screens? If it's rhymes and if it's like, oh, they actually enjoy one song and they halt when that song comes up. Maybe they're musically inclined. My son is musically inclined. He can listen to music forever. He still does it. Headphones on. He's going on 19. He always he would always have a toy he's holding for sensory needs, right? And then headphones on. He would put on, like he has a ninja robe, he'll put it on. He's going on 19. I remember where I was at 19. I was almost graduating university. So if I'm looking at him from my own lens, I'm like, dude, why are you doing all of this? But no, that's who he is, and I accept him for that. So look out for the cues. If they're non-verbal, there's not so much they can do. You can't force them to be verbal. So see other areas of where they're expressive and figure out if that's where their escape is. And you realize that sometimes if you actually go with their strengths, they do more. They actually give you more because now they're in their zone of genius and they're like, okay, I'm having fun here. And then, so it's more observation, and your child is just going to be unique to who they are. And there's no right answer, but it doesn't mean taking the screens away or making them do stuff would expedite their speech, As long as you're doing the therapy you should be doing and figuring out where the strengths are, because they show you, like I said, figure it out. And then if it's cartoons, there are schools online that teach you how to create these things. There could be coding for all you know. You could be doing Minecraft and stuff. Like, you have to think outside the box when they show you something. Just throw something at them and be like, okay, are you going to take this and run with it? And if they do, then that's a strength, So it might not be the sprint per se, but it might be other stuff that the sprint is doing.
Yeah, we just have to just keep trying things out. You can't get tired of that.
Yeah, but because someone says online on Instagram that screens are harmful for my child, doesn't mean they're harmful for your own child, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, and the last question here before I open it to the audience is: I put extra work into helping my child, but the school thinks they are independent and give them minimal effort, stroke resources, but it's not through. I really don't understand this question. I don't know if you're able to.
About this, but the school thinks that they're independent and give them minimal. Okay. So there's something about a lot of parents have issues with school. I did have at some point about what we believe they should be. Like, school here is not like school back home. So there is that expectation, the way that we grew up, like you have 13 subjects easy in school, and here they're like math, English, science, and maybe music, and they're done. And you're like, is that all? So is it your expectation of what they should be doing, or is it that they do nothing at all? Right? Like I said, parenting, you're gonna get challenged a lot about the way you are and how you think and how your parenting journey is gonna go. So it's being prepared for that also. So, like Faye said, people still do after school. Like, she has a tutoring center that, parents take kids to. I know that I've had conversations with her. I actually sent the call to her. Like, the things that she does and she's able to see through those kids is tremendous. The number of kids she's worked with. So if you feel that what the school curriculum is not satisfactory and you think they should be doing more, please feel free to add more stuff to what they do at home if it's more educational stuff on your own. But we know that the public schools here have a certain standard, and I don't think they're going to reduce it really because of it. They just have their standard. And if you're Nigerian, that standard is very low. So it might also be your expectation as to what you believe your child should be doing and what they're actually doing. So
Yeah. I think really our expectations, we really need to learn how to adjust our expectations and do what you think is best for you. You've said this over and over, and I just want to reiterate it for every parent here. Tutu has said that one size does not fit all. You will have to tailor
doesn't.
what best works for your
Yeah.
child.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Tutu. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Thank you for answering those questions.
Yep.
I have written down some things for those who are just joining, in case you missed it. Some things that I learned is if you want to move from survival to thriving, you have to surround yourself with the right people on the same growth journey with you. You have to speak to a therapist if you need a therapist. Don't shy away from speaking to a therapist. You have to prioritize yourself. You cannot give from an empty cup. Give yourself permission and audacity to live life on your own terms. Don't try to fit to the stereotypes that we're all given, but try and live your
Yep.
life to your own terms. And the last thing I wrote is sometimes it's not about doing more. The just figure out what is working best and just focus more on that.
Yep.
Those are some things that I was able to scramble down while multitasking, but I'm
Yeah.
sure you will have gotten something from the question and answers and responses. I was blessed. I hope you were blessed as well. Thank you so much, Tutu, for sharing
Thank
with
you.
us. I'll be in your
Thank
email
you.
very soon. I need to know your address. You cannot be my neighbor. You cannot be my neighbor, and I cannot take a stroll out to your house or meet up somewhere
Please
for
feel free.
coffee.
It
So
would be nice
yes,
to do that.
yes. I would buzz you, and we'll take that off. We'll take that offline. But thank you so much for volunteering your time with us. Thank you for sharing
Thank
from your
you.
wealth of experience.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for sharing a bit about Zion to us and knowing that okay, it's good. There is hope for all of us. It might not be the same
There
thing,
is.
but yes, just prioritize
Yeah.
yourself and look at things
Yep.
realistically. Don't try and fit yourself to any mode or
Yeah.
trying to compare yourself to other people. Just do what works for
Yeah.
you. Thank you so much, Tutu, for sharing.
Thank
God
you.
bless you. Thank you.
God bless you
Thank
too.
you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. I
Thank
will share with you a link for a private podcast that helps parents
Okay.
towards independent living. So for independent living, it's not really about the future. It's also what we can start doing now to actually get us to that. And I will share that with you. So because I know you guys have a WhatsApp group, so I'll share that
Yes,
with
we
you
do have a WhatsApp
later.
group, and I'm just
Yeah.
dropping
Okay.
Tutu's Instagram page here. It's been the system. Feel free to, it's in the chat. Feel free to connect with her on social media and just engage with her post. Pick knowledge. Me, I like to pick, don't mind me. I just went to visit somebody and I saw grandma, like, oh, grandma, how long have you been married? She said, 36. I have a question for you. This. I'm like, you were so curious. I'm like, no, I just like to learn. I just like to
Yeah.
learn. So please feel free to go to Tutu's page and go through our materials, our resources, and learn something for yourself and for your child. I'm sure you would be blessed. Knowledge, we cannot exhaust acquiring more knowledge. So
Yeah.
you will learn
Yeah.
one or two or three more things from our page, okay?
Yeah.
I
Appreciate it.
think there's a last question. Do you have therapist recommendations? One that understands the cultural aspect too.
Mm. When you're talking about culture, is our culture.
Our culture, our culture.
I think it's worth going through your family doctor, and you can pick and choose who you want to work with. So there is a way to actually. I know that a few of my friends do have Nigerian psychologists or therapists, but I think it's best to go through your family doctor. I did go through my family doctor.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
you
okay,
find the one that works for you. And it
okay.
also depends on, if you have private insurance and all that stuff. So, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, well, I don't know of any, so I can't respond to you. Of course, we can think about and ask around, but right
mm,
now I don't have an immediate answer. But you can double check or circle back on me on that, who Abby is, and then we can, talk offline on
yeah.
that. But thank you, Tutu,
Thanks
so
for
much
having
for
me. Thank
joining.
you.
Thank
Thank you.
you. God bless
Thank you.
you. Okay,
Thank
guys,
you.
we've heard from Mr. Tutu. Now we'll be going to our breakout sessions, and we will be talking about, all those things The struggles, the challenges, how you're doing, where you need help from. I think we have enough to go to breakout room. And for our breakout sessions, I just want us to just, talk to one another as parents going through this journey. And the question really is, what has survival mode looked like for you in the past? And based on what Tutu shared, like what is thriving, what are you going to take forward, and what are you going to do going forward? I have written down, like I literally just recap some of the things that I picked out for myself. And I want you to be able to connect with somebody new in the WhatsApp group. So yes, we'll be breaking ourselves to WhatsApp. Sorry, I said WhatsApp group. Pardon me. We'll be breaking ourselves to breakout room and we will just chat for 20 minutes because I'm very cognizant of our time. I want us to be able to finish on time. So the breakout will be open for 20 minutes. Feel free to introduce yourself, get to know somebody new, talk about what survival mode looks like for you in last year, probably not so long backward, so you don't forget. And going forward, what are you going to do differently? Trusting that we would have a lovely time. And how many years? 17. Okay, I'll put it was 3 in each group. And yeah, please feel free to share, and we'll be back by 4:45, I think. Assign automatically create. Oh, okay, no. Sorry, bear with me. Doing everything myself. I want to make sure that we are not too many in your room and we can all have a turn to share. So I think 4 each in your room is good. Okay, so the room is open. Feel free to click on it on your phone, your device, connect with somebody, share what survival was for you. You could be doing so many things, but now going forward, what are you going to do? I'm just going to pick what works for me. And yeah, live life on my terms. So feel free to go in and connect with somebody, and we'll be back by 4:45. Yeah, that's about 25 minutes. I don't know. Come so, come so. Let me pause. Oh. Okay, whichever. Mikey, are you joining the room? Mirabelle, are you with your phone? Oinda, are you joining the room? Jay, tonight you can hang out with me.
For sure, you're still live though.
Oh, okay.